Welcome back! Today, we're diving into the wild world of Rodrigo Duterte, the former president of the Philippines, loved by some, loathed by others, and always controversial. While the West criticized him, several Asian countries quietly, or not so quietly, backed him up. Why? Let's count down 10 Asian nations that stood by Duterte and explore what drove their support. First up, a country with a very special relationship with Duterte's administration. Let's start with China, a country whose presence looms large not just in Asia, but across the globe. For the Philippines, China has always been both a neighbor and a challenge, a nation with deep historical ties but also a source of tension and opportunity. In recent years, this relationship has taken on new dimensions, shaped by shifting geopolitics and the ambitions of powerful leaders. Before President Rodrigo Duterte took office, relations between the Philippines and China were frosty, even hostile at times. The main flashpoint was the South China Sea, a vital waterway claimed by both countries. In 2016, the Philippines scored a major diplomatic victory when an international tribunal in The Hague ruled in its favor, rejecting China's sweeping claims over the disputed waters. This was a moment of pride for many Filipinos, but it also put the two countries on a collision course, with Beijing refusing to recognize the ruling and tensions running high in the region. But when Duterte came to power, he made a dramatic pivot. Instead of pressing the legal victory, he chose to set it aside, opting for a more pragmatic approach. Duterte reached out to Beijing, seeking to transform a contentious relationship into a partnership. In exchange, China promised billions of dollars in loans, investments, and infrastructure projects, roads, bridges, railways, and more. These were tangible benefits that Duterte could showcase to his people, evidence of a new era of cooperation. One of the things that drew Duterte to China was its policy of no lectures on human rights. Unlike Western countries, which often criticized his controversial war on drugs and alleged abuses, China offered support without conditions. This hands-off approach was music to Duterte's ears, giving him political cover and allowing him to push back against Western pressure. It was a relationship built on mutual interests, not shared values. For China, supporting Duterte was a strategic move. By drawing the Philippines closer, Beijing could weaken a key U.S. ally and expand its influence in Southeast Asia. The South China Sea dispute was not just about territory, it was about power, prestige, and the future of the region. Every handshake, every investment, every joint project was a step toward reshaping the balance of power in China's favor. For Duterte, the benefits were immediate and visible. New bridges spanned rivers, highways cut through the countryside, and construction sites buzzed with activity. Chinese money flowed into the country, funding projects that promised jobs and development. And perhaps most importantly, Duterte gained a powerful friend on the world stage, one who didn't ask awkward questions or demand reforms. This partnership of convenience didn't just change the Philippines, it sent ripples across Southeast Asia. Other countries watched closely, wondering if they too should seek closer ties with Beijing. The region's political landscape was dramatically reshaped, as old alliances shifted and new ones emerged. The dragon's embrace was warm, but it also came with strings attached, and the long-term consequences were still unfolding. As we move forward, let's turn our attention to another partner, one whose influence is quieter, but whose role is just as crucial in shaping the Philippines' future. Japan played the role of the steady, reliable friend. In the ever-shifting landscape of international relations, Japan's approach to the Philippines was marked by a quiet consistency. While other nations often sought the spotlight, Japan preferred to work diligently behind the scenes, ensuring that their contributions were both meaningful and lasting. While China made headlines with its grandiose projects and aggressive diplomacy, Japan kept the aid and investments flowing steadily. Their focus was not on making a splash, but on creating a ripple effect that would benefit the Philippines in the long run. This approach fostered a sense of trust and reliability. They focused on quality infrastructure, subways, rail, and maritime security, helping the Philippines modernize. These projects were not just about building structures, they were about building a future. The new subways and railways eased urban congestion, while maritime security enhancements ensured safer seas. Japan quietly boosted the Philippine Coast Guard, hedging against China's growing influence. By providing patrol ships and training, Japan helped the Philippines safeguard its maritime boundaries. This support was crucial in maintaining regional stability and security. Their approach was respectful, non-confrontational, and avoided public criticism, something Duterte appreciated. Japan's diplomatic style was one of quiet strength, focusing on mutual respect and understanding. This approach resonated well with Duterte, who valued sovereignty and non-interference. By staying consistent, Japan remained a vital counterbalance to China, even as Duterte leaned east. Japan's steady presence provided a sense of balance in the region, ensuring that the Philippines had multiple avenues of support and partnership. Now let's see how another East Asian powerhouse fit into Duterte's foreign policy. As we explore further, we'll understand the intricate dynamics of Duterte's international strategy and how different nations played their parts. In recent years, South Korea's relationship with the Philippines has blossomed into a dynamic partnership, especially during the Duterte administration. What began as a series of diplomatic gestures soon evolved into a robust alliance, with both countries finding common ground in trade, investment, and cultural exchange. South Korea became one of the Philippines' top trading partners, with goods and services flowing more freely than ever before. The two nations also worked together to boost economic growth, create jobs, and open new markets for each other's products. Tourism flourished as well, with South Korean visitors becoming a familiar sight on Philippine beaches and in bustling city centers. The influx of tourists not only strengthened people-to-people ties but also contributed significantly to the local economy, supporting businesses and creating opportunities for cultural understanding. Defense cooperation, too, became a cornerstone of the relationship. As the United States hesitated on arms sales to the Philippines, South Korea stepped up to fill the gap, providing much-needed fighter jets and advanced military technology. This move was not just about hardware, it was a signal of trust and shared strategic interests. South Korea also delivered modern naval assets, including state-of-the-art frigates, to help the Philippines upgrade its maritime capabilities. These transfers played a crucial role in the ongoing modernization of the Philippine military, enhancing its ability to protect its waters and respond to regional challenges. This was pragmatic diplomacy in action. Both sides focused on shared interests and tangible benefits while choosing to remain discreet on more controversial issues. The approach allowed them to build trust and achieve progress without unnecessary friction. Facing similar security challenges in the region, both countries recognized the value of working together. Joint military exercises and regular security dialogues became routine, deepening their strategic partnership and fostering mutual respect. For President Duterte, this growing relationship with South Korea was part of a broader strategy to diversify the Philippines' international partnerships, moving beyond the traditional reliance on the United States and balancing the influence of China. Next, we turn to Singapore, a nation that has mastered the art of pragmatic diplomacy and economic strategy, earning its reputation as Southeast Asia's Little Red Dot. Singapore, the ultimate pragmatist, kept relations with Duterte respectful and business-focused. They never publicly criticized him, instead emphasizing strong economic ties and the importance of ASEAN unity. Singaporean leaders acknowledged Duterte's popularity, framing support as respect for the Filipino people's choice. Their approach, non-interference, quiet diplomacy, and mutual benefit. For Singapore, stability and trade trumped political drama. Now let's talk about a neighbor with a history of complicated ties. Malaysia and the Philippines have a tangled history, but under Duterte they found common ground in security. The Marawi siege and the threat of extremism led to unprecedented trilateral patrols with Indonesia. Malaysia valued Duterte's tough stance on terrorism, seeing it as essential for regional stability. Economic ties grew, especially in Mindanao, where Malaysian investment supported both business and security. Old disputes took a back seat to urgent cooperation. Speaking of hardliners, let's head to Indonesia. Indonesia's President Jokowi and Duterte shared a hardline approach to drugs and crime. Both faced criticism for their drug wars, but found solidarity in their tough policies. Security cooperation deepened, especially after Marawi, with joint patrols against terrorism. Their support was rooted in shared ideology and mutual threats. Now let's see how a regional rival became an unexpected partner. Vietnam and the Philippines are rivals, but both face pressure from China in the South China Sea. Despite Duterte's overtures to Beijing, he quietly strengthened maritime cooperation with Vietnam. Joint drills and communication hotlines built trust, signaling unity against Chinese aggression. Vietnam valued a strong, independent Philippines as a strategic ally. Next, a kingdom that understood Duterte's struggles with Western criticism. Thailand, under military rule, knew what it was like to be criticized by the West. This shared experience created kinship with Duterte. Both prioritized stability over Western approval. Thailand backed non-interference in ASEAN and kept economic ties strong. Support was pragmatic ideological sympathy and economic sense. Now let's look at a rising power's strategic pivot. India, under Modi, shifted from look east to act east, seeing the Philippines as a key partner. China's rise pushed India to deepen defense ties, culminating in the sale of BrahMos missiles to the Philippines. This landmark deal gave Duterte advanced military tech, no lectures attached. India and the Philippines found common cause in balancing China's influence. Economic ties grew, but the real story was strategic convergence. Now let's meet Duterte's staunchest ASEAN ally. Cambodia, led by Hun Sen, was Duterte's most vocal supporter in ASEAN. Acting as China's proxy, Cambodia blocked criticism of Duterte and shielded him from regional pressure. The alliance was built on shared authoritarian values and a mutual dislike of Western lectures. Cambodia's support highlighted deep divisions within ASEAN. Finally, let's wrap up with what all this means. 10 countries, 10 reasons for backing Duterte. Pragmatism, security, economics, and shared worldviews. For many Asian nations, interests outweighed Western criticism. Duterte's presidency revealed the true priorities of the region: stability, sovereignty, and strategic alliances. International relations aren't morality plays, they're about interests. Which country's support surprised you most? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay curious.